Hello and welcome to Dancer Support Mission by Sabine for Shine Your Light. We have a new episode of Dancer to Dancer, Words of Wisdom. I created this platform to meet the person behind the dancer and share with you all not only the highlights of someone's career, but also the challenges behind the scenes. Truly, my wish is to bring healing into the dance world, dancing to heal, healing to dance, one artist at a time and one personal story at a time. I do believe that storytelling gives us an opportunity to learn from another person's experience, and it can shape, strengthen, or challenge our opinions and values. Hopefully, this will allow you to embark or reflect on your own personal healing journey, inspired by others' experiences. And of course, if you find those interviews valuable and interesting, please share them with your friends. And don't forget to send me some feedback. So today I'm delighted to welcome Ivana Saldaña. Ivana, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
So Ivaña, I don't know you personally. We've met through a friend, a common friend of ours. And I've been exploring, your website, and I was like dumbfounded to see how much we have in common, as we have been both dancers, of course, but in the healing arts, we've been both of us have been very curious. So you're gonna tell us all about this. Do you want to say something on this?
Sure. I started dancing very early, and I started at the school of Maria de Avila in my hometown, where I am right now. And if I look back, everything was leading to what I'm doing now in the healing world. Everything was a beginning to the program that I have created, Balancing Flow, for the expansion of the new generation of dancers, of artists. And what can I tell you? At that time, at the school, I had a huge challenge, because when I decided I wanted to be professional, starting the professional training, I had a problem in my back, and I needed a surgery.
Ooh, at what age?
It was big, at 17.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I just had started at 15, the professional training with Maria de Avila. And
so you started dance at 15, or you just started with Maria at 15?
Well, I started at 6.
Okay.
And at 15 is when I decide all I want to do is dance. So I started the professional training. And then as I started to work harder, more intense, we had 40 hours long, 44 hours long class. So it was
44?
No, 4 hours.
Okay.
Yes. And it was fantastic, the training. But my body started to complain because I had something in my lower back. Then later on, I find out it was from birth.
Okay.
And then I needed this surgery, and I went to Paris with Dr. Judet to have the surgery, and he used to work for the dancers, l'Opéra, Paris Opera. And he told me that I will be able to do, but I will recover, that he will do the surgery specifically for this. And he was so used to the head dancers. And the surgery went really well, but I had to learn to stand up, learn to walk, to take steps. And so it was very slow recovery. And I remember my trainer, he was Bernard, And he used to work with Dominique Alfuni and other dancers.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
would tell me all the stories. And it was so inspiring. So it was, I mean, very special moment, but very challenging. So when I went back to the school, I had to start.
So how long did it take you to actually recover from that surgery?
So I was a month at the clinic and then I started to walk. And then I don't know overall, but it was that summer, maybe 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
To do again. The day I did a grand jeté, I knew I was.
Yeah. But that's amazing. 4 or 5 months is not a lot.
It's not that long, considering.
Yeah.
But in that time, it seemed very slow. The time was moving very slow.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was really like a second opportunity, like a gift.
Yeah.
To be able to return. So that was a huge challenge. And after maybe 1 year after that, I started working professionally. So
Okay.
everything happened very fast, really, after that.
So we all know that Maria de Avila is a fantastic teacher. But so in from 15 till what, 18, then at 18 you joined a company, basically. Yes. After 3 years with her.
No, with her I trained from a child, from 6-year-old.
Okay. All right, so you had
with Maria de Avila and Lola de Avila and Cristina Mignana and Susan Barnett. It was a fantastic team. And I started at 6. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, sir. So
but 15, then at the
you started doing that like more with a professional aim.
Yes. But all the base from all the younger years.
Okay.
So I wanted to share this because it's relevant to the program that I offer now to dancers. And when I look back at that time, I see I had a very strong technique, and physically I was very gifted, but emotionally and mentally I was not as strong at all. So it was very imbalanced. And it didn't make sense that I wouldn't be confident.
Yeah.
And that was the seed, that the beginning, because thanks to that experience, I can now help the dancers. I can understand, and I can tell them that it's possible to transform that.
Okay.
So
what's the primary goal? I mean, we jumped already to balance and flow, but so what's the primary goal of that, of your, project? I mean, it's not a project, it's a mission.
Of the program. Yeah, it's a mission. Yes. Because I really want to give the dancers that I didn't have at the time. That opportunity to train emotionally and mentally, because it's also a training. Yeah,
it's like a muscle as well.
Exactly. Repetition, awareness, repetition is a training, like we train the muscle, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really support mentally and emotionally all the challenges that a dancer goes through, and not only as students but also as professionals.
Yeah,
there are many challenges.
Well,
So I've been through all of those.
Technically, if you learn that as a student, then you will be able to apply it also, as a professional. I mean, it's something that never leaves you, right? You
exactly.
learn tools and then you apply them whenever you need them.
Yes. But yes, I work with both students and professionals. and also with teachers, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I want to give this new generation is that emotional strength and mental, so they can achieve the full potential, the full blossom. Because we can see dancers that are going through a wonderful career, but that doesn't mean that they reach this full experience, that they connect with the best version of themselves. And I want to help.
So how do you experience that actually in the school environment? Because I personally find that quite difficult to bring this up, because dancers are so focused and they're so programmed also to think, well, you know, it's all about the ballet and what you do in the studio, and they don't realize the other dimension as important and would help them so much, you know, if they took that into consideration and actually put some intention, attention, and efforts in those places as well, right?
Yeah, well, to my surprise, I found the dancers really hungry for all these tools that I bring to them, all these techniques. And because one of the things that I share is the connection with your inner power. And everyone is so happy to be reminded of that we have this power that we can use. And and even with working with teenagers or younger students or children for different reasons, or grown-up, I find they are hungry for this.
Oh, that's wonderful.
For this, it's like remembering who you are. I have this power. I like to be reminded of this.
Yeah, of course.
And what I think has an effect in my emotions and then in my actions. So I have also a responsibility having this power. It's not like things are happening to me and I have nothing to do. It's recognizing that we can do so much. And there are techniques, there are ways that can be learned.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fascinating in itself. So, I mean, like if maybe you could share with us a little bit how if you do a workshop, for example, for a group of young dancers, how would you present it?
Okay, because before I create the program, my background is as a Shiatsu therapist, and this was my transition in San Francisco. So the transition from the art of dance to the art of healing, and it was really smooth. And at the beginning, when I was doing Shiatsu, it felt like I was dancing, even now, because Shiatsu is a Japanese style of healing, of massage, and it works with the energy that runs through meridians in the body, through channels, and it is done in the floor. So every movement you apply through pressure, it comes from your center. So it's like dancing. We are connected with the center. So it has a lot in common. But in Shiatsu, you cover the whole body because the whole body is connected. And it takes years to learn the theory because it's based on Chinese medicine. So there's a lot. But then it's a combination with the intuition, having all that knowledge. And then every treatment is unique. So this is one of the aspects I use in the
So
workshop.
do you actually teach that to students so that they can help each other and help themselves?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So
Okay.
working in twos or threes,
Yeah.
and then learning self-shiatsu, so they can help each other and to themselves.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened is that from this transition into the healing world, every technique that I will learn, it was becoming a unity, and it ended up being balancing flow. So I trained. I became a Shiatsu therapist. I was training with Donna Farry in yoga in San Francisco. And that was the beginning of Tai Chi and Qigong. And then at that time, it was only on one-to-one.
Yeah.
And mostly to dancers, but to everyone. And then when I moved to London, I continued training, and I became master practitioner of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So from having studied the Oriental practices, then I went into the area of the neuroscience. Yeah. With the neuro-linguistic programming. And then I found such a root in common from the ancient wisdom and the most modern practices, that at the beginning I was working on one-to-one, and it was in 2000 when I started my practice in London. But then I wanted to share globally. First, I started only with NLP, with dancers, with students at school, in primary and in secondary, when they have the exam and that's very stressful. And also I created a program for women and children, and only women. So I started to work in different areas. And then is when I start to combine the Oriental and the modern and the mind and the neuroscience. And I start to do workshops for dancers. And this was the beginning of Balancing Flow. At that time, it didn't have a name. And then I realized this needs, yes, to have a name. So in this blend of the Oriental and the most modern, I go through in every section. I go through starting with theory, so working consciously, but I'm so passionate that is very motivational. Yeah. So it's not like only being here. It's if you are in your mind learning, that is already bringing curiosity and wanting to know more about it. So then we go into the body, and then we feel what I was talking about. Now it's learned through the body. And there is the Qigong, is the Shiatsu. And then it goes into the visualization, which is not only visual, is what we see, what we hear, what we feel. So we use the 5 senses. So it's more than visualization. It's 5 sensory practice. Yeah. And continue. So it's like we experience through different ways. And what I do is I work with the 5 elements. This is part of Chinese medicine and the theory of Shiatsu. So there's 5 different types of energy and qualities of movement and emotions. And so one section will be about the grounding, the integrity, feeling centered, solid. And this is a quality so important, not for the dancer.
Right, for human beings in general.
And for everyone.
Yeah.
But for the dancer or the artist being on a stage, when you are not even dancing, when you are standing, when you are still, or walking, and of course dancing, it's so important to have this presence, this connection, this routine, and being centered, but also at a rehearsal, class, audition, is centering. So another one, another aspect, another element will be about the energy of the heart, working with the heart. And first, working with internally. So before projecting from the heart, we work to connect with the self-love, with the energy of the heart.
It's a big work, for dancers.
Yes.
Self-love.
Yes. It's so beautiful to experience and to see. And then, because we cannot project that energy if we don't practice, if we don't cultivate.
Yeah, of course.
Internally. So yeah, through many tools, we work on that. So it's to dance from the heart. And now, audiences, we really want more than technique, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a while that we want not only the technique in the dancer.
Well, so, I think this is how we used to dance, much more from the heart, actually. Why? I mean, in the 50s or 60s, and then it became so athletic, and kind of we lost a little bit of that, right? We became a bit of everybody could do everything, but it's easy to lose yourself in that. And now I think, it's definitely. It's so challenging to become a dancer anyway, there's so few places. So you need to really, know yourself and find yourself in order to survive also in that world, and also shine, because it's a tough world.
Very, very competitive.
Yeah. And I think it's much harder than before. In our time, it was still easier, I find, to find a job, to, and to explore. Now it's much more difficult, I find, for the young generation.
I agree. Yes. So it's a reconnection with the feeling. Yeah. And because it's so great, so big. The energy from the heart is a field, electrical and magnetical. They reach it all around. So it's not a small thing. It's the most powerful energy. So,
and as we say, the longer travel is from your head to your heart, and the harder.
Yes. So that will be a very important aspect. Another will be the confidence, which this is so important for me to share with the dancer, and also through many tools. Here, this element connects with the lungs, with the breath, with the courage, and with the self-worth and the confidence. So very important too. And then another aspect and element will be working with self-expression So this is about the way we see ourselves and about the judgment, recognizing the way that we judge ourselves, which is huge. So working on letting go of that excessive judgment and seeing ourselves in a more benevolent way.
Yeah.
And then this leads into this self-expression and freedom. So that will be another. And so it's 5. The 5th is connecting with the calmness. Learning to
with
rest.
what?
Calmness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Learning to rest.
Yes.
Because absence of action doesn't mean rest. We could be lying down in a sofa and we are not truly resting. So that needs to be trained, learned also.
Yeah. It goes with relaxation, right?
Relaxation.
Yeah.
The deep rest, relaxation, calmness, surrender. So very, very important, this one. Because there are ways that we can learn, no? To
yeah,
achieve.
Actually, that's my first thing that I teach in the end. It's always, how do you relax? Because you cannot do anything from a place of tension and anxiety or whatever is going on in your mind. So I think it's a great point.
And also, after working very hard, the body, the mind needs to relax, to recharge, to revitalize, and then continue next day or the same day into the action. So these are the 5 pillars based on the 5 elements. And depends on the time. Sometimes I can work for a whole week with a group and go a whole day for each element. So in Chinese medicine, the 5 elements is earth, and this is the grounding. It's fire. This is the energy of the heart. Then is wood, which is the expression and the freedom. Metal, which is the confidence. And water, which is the deepest. This is the relaxation. So sometimes if I have weeks to work, then it's more intense. But sometimes I can work only once with a group. Then I have to really do a
but what's important
selection.
To also understand, I mean, for those who listen to us, is that you can do a workshop, but unless you put that into action in your life every day, you're not going to see much result, right? It's like learning a new language, a new way of being, a new way of doing, and it's something that it doesn't happen in a day. It just evolves, along with your life, and very often, I'm talking for myself in terms of confidence. This is a lifetime job.
It's a lifetime. Yes. Yes. Even for us, for grown-ups.
Exactly. But that's important to say, because some people, now we are in the world of, you want to fix things, and so you take a pill and up it happens, but it's not the way it happens. I mean, working on yourself is a lifetime job, no matter where you at and where you can be in a week, it will continue your whole life. And I find that very hard to explain to young people, because they want quick fix, they want solutions, and you can find a solution in the process, but you can't think that one workshop is going to solve your life, and all your problems. So I think that's important to be said, because very often,
it's very important. And that is exactly the vision. My vision is to have this type of training, this emotional and mental training, as a part of the curriculum in a school.
Of course, it would be.
I see. I mean, it's essential. I think in the future, I see a future with these
I do too.
practices.
This was part of my vision too.
Yes.
I mean,
And-
but not only for ballet, for every school. This should be taught in the kindergarten, you know, how to connect with yourself, how to
Exactly.
make a relationship between your breathing and your mental state, and how you balance everything. I mean, I did that with my child's school when he was 5. He was in a I don't know, different school, and I would come every morning and do 20 minutes with them.
Wow.
And the teacher, I mean, not every, I 3 times a week. And the teacher was like, every time you come, they're so concentrated, they're so open, so ready to work. Because we'd done 20 minutes of shaking and running and stopping and breathing and memory, you know, little memory. So you have to be quiet, you have to concentrate, you know, short things because they were 5 years old. But I think if we could have that every day, that would be the best build up for children.
Yes, we will. We will. When I work with little ones that age, and with the mothers, I will teach Shiatsu, and the mom will do Shiatsu to the little ones, and the little ones to the mother.
Yeah.
Learning to care also for mom, and breathing, and we will visualize at the end, and they are so open. So
yeah.
They love it.
And they probably know, you know, because we are born to know that, but we're being taught not to look at it, you know, basically.
So yeah, definitely not only in the ballet, in the world for artists, but for everybody.
Yeah.
That. And in my vision, I imagine looking in the future, looking back to now, to 2023, and thinking, how come we didn't have that?
Yeah.
It is so essential, and then it will be something natural. It will be unthinkable not to have it. This is how I see the future.
Beautiful future.
Yes. That's my, yeah.
So but I'd like to come back to your story in a little bit, you know, because I mean, having an operation at 17 and, you know, dealing with that to come back and dance again. So you managed to dance in a company and everything. And you said, but that planted a little seed for the healing work. So would you tell us a little bit how you went about to discover slowly all this healing art, you know? Because I guess you started with one thing and then another and then another, and then it led you to do the Shiatsu, as you said.
Yeah, one after the other. Yes. So when I recovered from the surgery, I was so grateful. I appreciate everything so much.
That's a very good point, because we also forget to appreciate what we have, you know.
Gratitude, yeah. Is so important. So I thought it was not granted that I will be able to dance again. So I was really, really happy and appreciating everything, new beginning. And before the surgery, I was for weeks, maybe it was 6 or 7 weeks, waiting for the surgery. I had to lie down. And that was very hard. So it's not only that I couldn't take class, I couldn't even go and see the class. I had to lie down. And then it's when I start working with visualization, just for the joy of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at that time that it will be part of my profession. But yeah, I said, okay, I cannot move my body and go out there. And so I will dance. I will see myself doing class. And when you visualize, there's no limits. So I was dancing, paddles, I could choose the partner, the city, the theater, the company.
Mhm.
And it was, so I didn't realize I was training myself into doing that. That later I will use and teach others. And so psychologically, it was helping me so much.
Mhm.
Because for the brain, it is real. So what we visualize, the brain, the interpretation of the brain is like it's happening.
That's why if you keep on imagining the worst scenarios, it might happen too.
So we can, yeah, the brain is gonna believe it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the power to choose. Yes, yes. So then when I became professionally, I danced in the Ballet Clásico de Zaragoza, and then in Madrid with the Ballet Nacional de España. And then I started doing yoga daily.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to feel my body was stronger. And then the confidence started to appear, to do a role maybe in 2 days. And yes, I can do it. And so I went to yoga in the morning and couple of positions in the evening. So I was already, without realizing, starting to do certain things to prepare for the class,
Yeah.
and certain ones to rest at the end. So that was the beginning of connecting in the breath. And also I will do daily meditation, Zen meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the beginning of, because when I moved to San Francisco, I continue, and then I train more in the yoga, in the breath, and I start to expand the techniques. So gradually, I start to feel
While still dancing.
transformation.
While still dancing, right?
While still dancing.
Okay.
Yes. And even for the transition, it will help me, because I thought it will be something dramatic. The day I don't dance anymore.
Yeah. What's
but
like?
No, it wasn't like that. It was very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
I had that too, also thanks to healing. It's amazing, huh? Because it is a dance, huh? Healing, it never stops, and you're never bored, because it's always happening, and there's always something to do. So
yes, that's very, very good. Yes, experience like that. So for me, it was building up, because the more I was trained in the healing arts, I will get the benefit first, and then it got a point when I put everything together, and with very clear intention. And with dancers, we also work with intention. Intention, which is giving direction to your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So the thoughts are there, there's so many possibilities, but it's giving a direction to them, even for an intention for the class that you're gonna do, or intention for the whole day, or for a
role. Yeah.
So gradually, I was transforming myself. So it's really a great joy for me to share this.
And that's really very important. What you're saying is you have to do the work yourself, because you can't teach anything that you can teach someone, and they can go as far as you have understood it and you have experienced it in the end. You know what I mean? So it's not something you can just talk about. It's something you have to have the integration in your body on all levels in order to be able to share it.
You have to experience it.
Yes. So
you're sharing an experience, in knowledge, but yes, it needs to be truthful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes. So in San Francisco, I started working with dancers because I was in that world. So that was the beginning, and then expanding to everyone. And I continue in London. And what I was gonna say, that in the pandemic, it really spread. I could spread my program because it came the online.
Yeah, of course.
So I was in front of my computer, and I could reach dancers in Europe, in the United States. So, and it was fantastic to see that, of course, I couldn't do Shiatsu. I couldn't touch them with my hands, but I could touch them with the voice, with the energy, and it didn't matter that we were not in front of each other. I work a lot on one-to-one online, and with private schools, with conservatories, and what the teachers and the directors will share with the concern, because the students will be, some will lose motivation, others will be depressed, and others wanted to quit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that happened in that time.
So I felt really, I wanted to help as much as I could. So I also did, I teach live Facebook, and then I create a class, and this was mainly teachers. In that class, that started in the pandemic, I still continue teaching that class.
Okay.
Teachers, colleagues, and it was, yes, it was balancing flow, very specifically to give, inspiration and strength to the moment that we were living, that we were going through. And then I wanted to do this for everyone, not only just dancers. And then I did live every Sunday from my garden in London, a live class. And that was really, really an experience, no?
Yeah. So basically, COVID was a good period for you. It was like creative.
Well, it gave me strength to help.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't, me going live in the garden and talking to the computer. I don't know who's out there.
Yeah.
And it gave me such a strength wanting to help. So these weekly, every Sunday classes, it was for general well-being. And really, at that time, I felt I was very lucky to be in that small garden, but with all these plants and life, and many people had to be in their houses.
I know.
Not going out at all inside of walls. That I wanted to bring that energy from the garden.
Nice. So you're still continuing. You're still continuing that till today. You're still doing your Sunday class.
No, that one, because what happened is that when COVID started to, the situation started to improve, everybody started to be very busy.
Yeah.
And then I didn't maintain that, but I maintained a class online for teachers. That's the one that I continue doing.
So I will put anywhere in the, below I will put your website so people can go and check it out and see if they want to have a session or if they want to work with you. They'll have all the information and they can contact you.
Thank you. That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. So yeah, I feel when I gave birth to balancing flow, it was like closing a circle.
Mm-hmm.
That started when I took my first ballet class. And then I became therapist, and then I went back to the ballet world. Yeah. I started at 6, and my mom took me to the Maria de Avila school. So it was thanks to her that everything started. And also thanks to the support she gave me mm-hmm. through the years at the school. I was very lucky. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for this is very exciting. It's like for me, it's really nice because you really put in practice everything that I would love to do also more in groups, so I think it's very inspiring. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so last question, if you had one advice to give to a young dancer today, what would that be?
I think to practice daily appreciation, self-appreciation, mm-hmm. is very essential. We forget to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So cultivating self-appreciation for a student, for example, you can change the whole picture because you experience differently the events,
the
situations, the challenges. For example, when a teacher gives you a correction, if you practice this appreciation, you take it differently. You can say, oh, this is great. It's giving me attention. It's telling me something new that I can work mm-hmm. with. But if not, without the self-appreciation, a correction can bring you down.
Yeah, it can be a slap.
Bring thoughts of course, I always do things wrong. Now it's like a negative, like a destructive thing. But if you have your appreciation, then a correction could be constructive. It can change the whole experience.
It should be constructive.
but even the same correction, it depends on how you are, the connection with yourself.
Yeah.
Because the appreciation leads to the self-worth. Mm-hmm. So it's a very good path to then starting with. So that's my advice. Daily, just stop. And appreciate your thoughts, your emotions, your body. Because normally we pay attention to what we don't like. So it's an exercise.
Of course.
Practice and to repeat every day.
Yeah.
Just give a thought and then feel and connect and appreciate yourself.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And you know what? When you say it, I believe you. Because you have a beautiful, loving and expanded energy. So it's wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Ivana, thank you so much. And I wish you all the very best. I know you have very busy and you have many, many plans to come. You're going to London soon. You're going to everywhere, Barcelona. I don't know, you told me a little bit. And
yes.
I wish you all the very best in your passion spreading.
Yes. Thank you so much to you for this opportunity. And I feel very grateful to all the teachers I had, the dance, in the dance world, in the healing world. Yes, I feel very, very grateful. And also to the dancers, because thanks to them, I have the drive, is the reason I want to do what I do. So their challenges, it keeps me going.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.